In this working-class neighbourhood in Diyarbakir, people are in mourning. They've come to pay their respects to the Dag family whose son Murad was killed in riots which erupted across the city earlier this week. His brother tells me he is distraught, angry and afraid.
The police are murderers. He was not involved in any protest. He was just a bystander at the scene. He has no political affiliation at all.
But despite this claim, a large PKK flag is pinned to the wall at the centre of where the mourners are gathered. The PKK are an armed Kurdish group who have been fighting for independence from Turkey for decades. A picture of their leader, Abdullah Öcalan, is also on display side by side with that of the deceased. Even though the Turkish government considers the PKK terrorists, both sides have been engaged in a peace process, but that's now in the balance because of the conflict in Kobane. Hundreds of Turkey's Kurds took to the streets in recent days, angry because they say the government isn't doing enough to protect the town from falling to ISIL fighters. Meral Bektash is deputy head of the main Kurdish political party in Turkey, the HDP. She says that whilst the peace process hasn't collapsed, it is facing its toughest challenge yet.
Events in Kobane are directly affecting the peace process. If Kobane falls, then it would be impossible to maintain peace in Turkey, because you cannot separate Kobane. It is part of Kurdish geography. The government must create a security zone for Kobane and open a corridor for logistic support.
Although things are calm here, with businesses open as usual and people going about their normal lives, the feeling amongst many in Diyarbakir is that of a tense uncertainty. Whilst many Kurds are angry with the government, most do not want the peace process to collapse. Fazl Husnu is a professor at the local university. He tells me that Kurdish politicians and the PKK are using the conflict to force the government to deliver more on Kurdish demands.
I think Kurdish politicians are aiming to put pressure on the government to take further steps in the peace process and to offer more than they've already promised to the Kurds.
While the fighting hasn't crossed the border into Turkey, recent violence is serving as a stark warning as to how volatile the situation is. And the message from someone who's already lost a loved one is simple.
I want the peace process to continue. My brother has died, but no more lives should be lost.
Jamal Elshayyal, Al Jazeera, Diyarbakir.